Low carb? Moderate carb? Is this a sensible diet or nutritional form, or just hot air again? If you're looking for a meaningful diet and want to know if this form of nutrition delivers what it promises, or if it might even be dangerous for you, then stay tuned until the end.
Welcome to Endovision with Dr. Berger, your leading channel for insightful perspectives in the world of endocrinology. Here, we highlight the central challenges of our time: diabetes mellitus, obesity, thyroid disorders, and the essential role of nutrition for a healthy life. Subscribe to Endovision if you are ready to take your health to the next level. Here begins the path to a healthier, self-determined life.
Welcome to a new episode on Endovision with Dr. Berger. In today's episode, we are focusing on two popular dietary approaches that have gained increasing importance in recent years: the low-carb diet and the moderate carb diet. Many people who want to lose weight or control their blood sugar levels, such as in diabetes or pre-diabetes, often consider these two diets. But is this even the right diet for me? And which of the diets actually suits you better? And how do these two approaches differ? Throughout the video, I will introduce both diets in detail, explain their scientific foundations, outline the pros and cons, and show you how to implement them correctly. By the end, you will have a better understanding of whether this diet or nutritional approach might be suitable for you. What is the low-carb diet? The low-carb diet, as the name suggests, is a way of eating that significantly reduces carbohydrate intake. In this diet, the daily carbohydrate intake is less than 50 to 100 grams. This is significantly less than many of us are used to. In a typical Western diet, the carbohydrate content can easily reach 250 to 300 grams per day. This means that many traditional foods like bread, rice, pasta, and potatoes almost completely disappear from the menu. The basic idea of this diet is to force the body to rely on fat as the primary energy source. This process is called ketosis. In ketosis, the body uses fats, which come either from food or from its own fat stores, to generate energy instead of carbohydrates. Ketone bodies are also increasingly produced, which can serve as an energy source for our brain in the absence of carbohydrates. This has the advantage that fat is burned and the body more efficiently derives energy from. Scientific foundations of the low-carb diet. The principle behind the low-carb diet is based on the fact that carbohydrates are broken down into glucose in the body, which in turn raises blood sugar levels and insulin production. An increased insulin level promotes fat storage and prevents the body from using fat as an energy source. Fewer carbohydrates mean less insulin, which leads to higher fat burning. And this mechanism has been studied in numerous studies. It has been shown that the low-carb diet is very effective for weight loss, especially at the beginning, as the body quickly uses fat as an energy source, while simultaneously lowering insulin levels. Furthermore, it has been found that low-carb diets lead to improved blood sugar control, making them a promising therapy for people with type 2 diabetes. What is the moderate carb diet? Unlike the low-carb diet, the moderate carb diet does not restrict carbohydrate intake as drastically. With moderate carbohydrate intake, the daily consumption of carbohydrates is between 100 and 150 grams. This means that carbohydrates make up a more comprehensive part of the diet. The extent of ketosis is also significantly less pronounced here, as we consume enough carbohydrates to supply our brain. The moderate carb diet allows for the consumption of some complex carbohydrates like whole grains, legumes, or starchy vegetables. These foods are rich in fiber and contain slower digesting carbohydrates, which do not cause blood sugar levels to rise as quickly as simple sugars or refined carbohydrates.
Scientific foundations of the moderate carb diet. The moderate carb diet is based on the understanding that a moderate amount of carbohydrates, combined with a balanced intake of proteins and healthy fats, leads to more stable energy provision. This dietary approach can stabilize blood sugar levels throughout the day, which may reduce the risk of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Scientific studies show that a moderate intake of carbohydrates leads to better insulin sensitivity in most people, without the negative effects of a very strict carbohydrate reduction.
Advantages and disadvantages of the low-carb diet. The low-carb diet can lead to quick results, especially in the first few weeks. People struggling with overweight or insulin resistance often report a significant improvement in their blood sugar levels and rapid weight loss. Furthermore, the insulin level decreases, which can reduce the risk of developing diabetes in the long term. Many people also experience fewer cravings, as the body has more stable energy levels when using fat as an energy source. However, the low-carb diet is not suitable for everyone. It can be difficult to maintain, especially in the long term. Avoiding many food groups, particularly starchy foods, can lead to nutrient deficiencies if one does not carefully ensure a balanced diet. Especially the intake of fiber from whole grains or fruits and vegetables can be insufficient on a low-carb diet, which can have long-term health consequences, such as digestive issues or an increased risk of cardiovascular diseases. Another issue with the low-carb diet is the so-called keto flu, which many people experience at the beginning of the diet. Symptoms such as fatigue, headaches, and concentration problems can occur as the body adjusts to the new energy source. Advantages and disadvantages of the moderate carb diet. The moderate carb diet has a clear advantage when it comes to sustainability. Due to the less strict restriction of carbohydrates, it is easier for many people to implement in the long term. Especially for those who do not want to make radical changes in their lifestyle, this diet is a promising option. The moderate carb diet allows for the consumption of a variety of foods. The consumption of foods, including complex carbohydrates, contributes to a balanced nutrient intake. However, it may be more difficult to achieve quick results with this diet, as seen with a low-carb diet. It can also be more challenging to perfectly stabilize blood sugar levels if too many simple sugars or refined carbohydrates are consumed, which can cause blood sugar to spike quickly. Implementing low-carb and moderate carb diets in everyday life. Real-life example. Let's take a closer look at the implementation of the diet using the example of Lisa, a 38-year-old commuter, who switched to a low-carb diet 3 months ago. After being diagnosed with prediabetes, Lisa decided to shed a few extra pounds and stabilize her blood sugar levels. To achieve her goals efficiently without spending much time on complex diet planning, she chose the low-carb diet. In the morning, Lisa starts her day with a simple yet nutritious breakfast, a chia pudding. She mixes 2 tablespoons of chia seeds with 200 milliliters of unsweetened almond milk and lets the mixture soak overnight in the refrigerator. In the morning, she adds a handful of berries and a teaspoon of almond butter, which gives it a creamy consistency. This breakfast contains about 250 kilocalories and has the advantage of keeping you full for several hours, thanks to the healthy fats and fiber from the chia seeds. For lunch, Lisa has a chicken and vegetable bowl planned. She sautés 150 grams of chicken breast in olive oil, and then adds steamed vegetables like broccoli, bell peppers, and zucchini. A few fresh herbs like rosemary and thyme complete the dish, and it is garnished with a tablespoon of olive oil and a splash of lemon juice. The entire meal has about 350 kilocalories, provides almost 30 grams of protein, and ensures that Lisa feels energized and full for the rest of the afternoon. What is particularly convenient about this meal is that it can be prepared in advance and used as meal prep for the next day. In the evening, Lisa opts for a simple and quick zucchini noodle casserole with feta. For this dish, she cuts 2 zucchinis into long strips to make zoados, zucchini noodles. She garnishes the zoados with half a cup of feta, sautés them in a bit of olive oil and garlic, and then bakes them for about 20 minutes at 180 degrees in the oven. With around 300 kilocalories and a decent amount of protein from the feta and zucchini, this meal is ideal for a cozy evening. The casserole also provides fiber and vitamins without overloading on calories. Lisa's diet journal. Since she decided to eat carbohydrates in moderate amounts, Lisa has also occasionally integrated small portions of whole grain products into her meals. She sometimes eats a small quinoa salad, or half a slice of whole grain bread for lunch to distribute her energy more evenly throughout the day. This moderate amount of carbohydrates ensures that her blood sugar level remains stable, while still providing her with enough energy for her demanding daily routine. If the scale shows more again, if Lisa notices that she has gained more than a kilogram in a week, she implements a short, reset week for the following week, during which she restricts her carbohydrate intake again. During this week, she focuses on meals consisting exclusively of protein and vegetables, with minimal amounts of fats to boost fat loss. She uses this reset week to ensure that she stays at her desired weight. Since Lisa started this diet, she has not only lost almost 8 kilograms, but her HbA1c has dropped from a value of 6.2 to 5.4%. Her energy levels are consistently high, and she feels overall fitter and healthier. With this diet, Lisa has found a way to improve her nutrition without having to restrict herself extremely or constantly give up foods. Conclusion: both diets, the low-carb and the moderate-carb diet, offer their own benefits and can help with weight loss and blood sugar control. The choice of the right diet depends on your personal goals and preferences. If you are looking for quick results and are willing to give up many carbohydrate-rich foods, the low-carb diet might be the right path for you. However, if you prefer a balanced, sustainable diet where you can also enjoy carbohydrates in moderate amounts, then the moderate-carb diet might better suit your lifestyle. A combination is also possible, starting with the low-carb diet for quick success and then transitioning to the moderate-carb diet as a maintenance diet. Hopefully, you enjoyed the video and will give me a thumbs up. I hope this video helped you get a clearer overview of these two diets. If you have any questions or would like more topics, let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any more videos. And see you next time on Endovision with Dr. Berger.